this was a really heart-racing and wholesome chapter. Now first off, seeing that maid outfit really did make my heart spin and head race. Other way around. So much that it took me 3 full days to recover. But anyway, here's the review. Hello everyone and welcome to Anime Awakening, and today we're here to talk about chapter 61 of the Blue Box manga series. A chapter in where we see the return of Kishi. If you don't remember him, well, don't worry, he's the guy that faced Taiki on court and where the winner got Chinastu's contact info. But luckily for him, well, for Taiki, Kishi lost, and it looks like he's planning on losing to Taiki yet again, both in badminton and in the pursuit of love. Because little does he know, Taiki is currently at a rock show with Chinastu, and well, if Taiki is beating the likes of Yusa on the badminton court, then please, at this point in the series, he should not be losing to a character like Kishi. Now seeing this character return was great, as I can't say I'm a massive fan of him, because honestly I'd forgotten about the character before he reappeared, but his display in this chapter was both entertaining and respectable. I loved how yes, he has a crush on Chinastu, but at the end of the day, he just wants her to be happy, even if someone else ends up winning Chinastu's heart. Low-key, I think he will face Taiki again on the badminton court, in where afterwards, Kishi will accept that Taiki is the one and only person that can make Chinastu truly happy, and will give his full support and blessing to Taiki's pursuit of her. The comedy / interactions with both Taiki and Kishi upon seeing Mei Chinastu was brilliant. Seriously, that panel in where they were struggling to stand was hilarious. I loved it a lot, and these two boys have great comedic chemistry with one another. Another great return within this chapter was the return of Karen. She played a small role with a big benefit attached. So, firstly, her teasing the boys about seeing Chinastu, saying how it's going to be quite stimulating, keeps her trait of her cheekiness. This panel I loved so much, as her doing so just makes her do what she's doing best. And that is again, being cheeky and teasing people. While Haru is looking slightly weirded out, like he's thinking, why do I know these people? But the biggest thing that she does is setting up Chinastu, in Chinastu rejecting her offer and proving to Taiki that the plan between them both of going to that rock show is way too important. So during the interaction between all characters, Taiki gets a flash of disappointment and some doubt is created in his mind when Karen asks Chinastu to go to the fashion show with her at 2 p.m. This is of course because we know how close Chinastu and Karen are, and Taiki knows that as well. However, his doubt and his worries get quelled by Chinastu's quick response of sorry, I've got plans. Now, we know this response made Taiki happy, as firstly, we see him blushing from his reaction, and secondly, he runs away. Normally when Taiki in the past has been overjoyed, shy or embarrassed because of happiness, he looks away from the person he's talking to, or he just leaves the area, and in this case, he runs away saying that he has plans to meet a friend. Again, I feel like this is a both mixture of slight embarrassment, because he's so happy, but he doesn't really want anyone else to know why or who he's meeting up with. But at the same time, again, it's out of happiness and overjoy that he runs away too. Does Karen know about Chinastu's plans? Personally, I think she does. Karen is a very smart character and knows Chinastu well. Plus we know that Chinastu tells Karen a lot of things because of their close relationship with each other. So that's highly possible that Chinastu has already told her. Plus Karen is a model, and as such, a bit of acting is tend to be involved with modelling. So she can act like she doesn't know very easily, just to kind of set Chinastu up to, make Chinastu look even better in rejecting Karen and proving to Taiki while he's there next to her that Chinastu thinks that Taiki is important and she wants to spend time with him, as opposed to spending time with a friend. So, the rock band is now starting and there's no sign of Chinastu. But wait, she arrives even if just a little bit late. And what is she wearing? She's wearing her maid clothes. Why couldn't she change beforehand? Well, firstly, we know how important this meeting is for her and Taiki. And if she's already running late, then changing would make her even later to the show, which would result in less time spent together, which is a bad thing, of course. Plus, there is also a chance that if she was too late arriving, then Taiki might have left, feeling hurt, even if the reason for her lateness wasn't her own fault. Taiki could leave after waiting around for a late Chinastu and thinking that she isn't going to show up, thinking that she actually did ditch him for Karen's fashion show, even though she stated in front of him that she has plans to meet up with a friend and he knew that friend was himself. Seeing the expression on Chinastu's face though, you could see the look of worry, but also amazement and happiness in her eyes, as they were glowing brightly and giving off those sorts of vibes. So again, that in itself, that expression, really showcases how much this meeting with Taiki meant to her. She felt worried and guilty almost for being late, but she also felt happy and joy for actually Taiki being there. And yeah, and that shows that she really does care and she does have feelings for him. So I love that last panel. And finally, I want to talk about Kyo, because right now I should be saying he's back, but I'm sorry to say that he was actually in chapter 60, but I just lost him in the crowd. I didn't see him in my first initial read through. He was staring at Princess Hina, but Kyo was watching Hina very carefully in that chapter. Again, that kind of staring from Kyo does help the idea that he has feelings towards Hina, because he made the dress, and he's also looking at her wearing it. And even in this chapter, he's still observing Hina, and making the observation that she's nervous about her performance, because of her always playing games at this festival and having a good time. Because in Kyo's mind, that's her way of dealing with the nerves. Now that could just be his way of knowing Hina, because they have been friends for a very long time. Just like how whenever Taiki said he's got something to do, Kyo and Taiki are so close that Kyo just knows that most of the time it's Chinastu related. Anyways, those were my thoughts on this chapter. It was rather short in terms of a chapter because it just felt that way in terms of pacing, but don't let that fool you. It was a glorious chapter to behold. I'm excited and I can't wait to see what happens next in this series and what's going to happen at this rock show. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter in the comments down below and what you think is going to happen next. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you have, hit that like button, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more things Blue Box. Have a great day. Alligator, matane. Goodbye.